fluids, pumping the blood.
You've got a fluid pressure bag.
Okay, so can we use the pressure bag? Major Frimpong. Okay. Is the blood in?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's go. Okay. Please, sir. Where are you? In Fong Theater, we are on our way. Okay.
Her blood pressure now is 110/70.
Very good. But uterus is still very soft and tonic, so we have to go in. All right.
And her pulse is 110.
Can we give a shot of tranexamic acid, 1.5 grams star? Should have done that earlier, but never too late. Let's get on.
Well done. End of scenario.
Thank
And
you.
her pulse is 110.
We are coming up, but let's keep going. Pumping the fluids, pumping the blood.
You've got a fluid pressure bag.
Okay, so can we use the pressure bag? Major Frimpong. Okay. Is the blood in?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's go. Okay. Please, sir. Where are you? In Fong Theater, we are on our way. Okay.
Her blood pressure now is 110/70.
Very good. But uterus is still very soft and tonic, so we have to go in. All right.
And her pulse is 110.
Can we give a shot of tranexamic acid, 1.5 grams star? Should have done that earlier, but never too late. Let's get on.
Well done. End of scenario.
Thank
And her
you.
pulse is 110.
We are coming up, but let's keep going. Pumping the fluids, pumping the blood.
You've got a fluid pressure bag.
Okay, so can we use the pressure bag? Major Frimpong. Okay. Is the blood in?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's go. Okay. Please, sir. Where are you? In Fong Theater, we are on our way. Okay.
Her blood pressure now is 110/70.
Very good. But uterus is still very soft and tonic, so we have to go in. All right.
And her pulse is 110.
Can we give a shot of tranexamic acid, 1.5 grams star? Should have done that earlier, but never too late. Let's get on.
Well done. End of scenario.
Thank
And
you.
her pulse is 110.
We are coming up, but let's keep going. Pumping the fluids, pumping the blood.
You've got a fluid pressure bag.
Okay, so can we use the pressure bag? Major Frimpong. Okay. Is the blood in?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's go. Okay. Please, sir. Where are you? In Fong Theater, we are on our way. Okay.
Her blood pressure now is 110/70.
Very good. But uterus is still very soft and tonic, so we have to go in.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk About Health. I'm your host, I'm Mrs. Winnie Ohinekisi. Tonight promises to be a very exciting episode, and as you can see, it's the first time I'm having as many as 6 of us in here. Tonight is all about saving lives, and it's about maternal health and about fetal health. And hey, it's all about Ghana. About a month ago, I had a special guest with me who also is one of the team members from the Trowbridge Foundation based in the UK. And I had Miss Maisie Stock in the studio. Maisie, if you're watching, I hope you've tuned in and watching the rest of us because we are gearing up and ready to go. If you haven't invited your friends and your family, please do, and you have all the information that you've been asking for, all the updates that you need about our upcoming mission to Ghana. This is all coming to you by kind courtesy of Omega House Multimedia, Omega Live TV, who give us the platform to do this show and to bring you all the very exciting health programs that you've been watching over the years. So let's get started. I will ask my guests to introduce themselves, and I'll start with maybe did they say ladies first? So let's go. Let's start from the left. And
Hello,
yeah.
I am Nadede Ellis, and I'm the project coordinator for the Trowbridge Foundation.
And I'm Joyce Edua-Mankwa. I am a member of GNA and also Trowbridge, representing the GNA on this platform and on this journey.
So that's the
Ghana Nursing
Association UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
My name is Joyce Edua-Mankwa, specialist hemoglobinopathy midwife. It's simply to do with sickle cell and thalassemia.
Wow, wonderful.
And my name is Bright Jampo, an obstetrician gynecologist, and I'm the chairperson for the Trowbridge Foundation.
And my name is Karen Billington, and I'm a practice development midwife, and I'm also a trustee of the Trowbridge Foundation.
And my name is George Noelate. I'm a trustee and director for operation for the foundation.
Should I say you are all warmly welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to have you here. I've hosted some of you here before, and we have done bits and pieces of what to expect tonight. But obviously, we've been talking about mission, or I have, on my shows, drumming it in for everybody to hear about our up-and-coming mission to Ghana with the Trowbridge Foundation. George, I think I'm going to start with you. Trowbridge Foundation, tell us about it, how it all started. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Winnie, and it's quite exciting to have been here on this journey with you. I think it was about a year ago that we first came to the studio to talk about the foundation. Trowbridge started way back in 2018. We, as people in the diaspora and our friends, have been quite committed to giving back. And in the past years leading to 2018, some of us have gone back to Ghana trying to help in our way, just to help by transferring skills, and it has come with some challenges. We have found it quite difficult as individuals to be able to do this, and in 2018 we were quite fortunate to have come into the midst of a group of bishops who were on a visit here, and when they had a very, what I call it, a cold evening, and we hosted them to a meal somewhere in Edmonton, and during the session we were opportune to share with them what we think we can do if we're given opportunity to come back as a group. And it was welcome so well. We were a bit surprised that the group had every decision maker to enable the vision that we had to materialize. So that's how it all started.
Yeah, and bishops from which denomination really? Because yes, I'm sure they will be excited to see their involvement from the start. You know, they gave birth pretty much to this, isn't it?
And of course, I'm proud to say it was the Methodist Church.
The Methodist Church.
Yes, it was the Methodist Church.
Okay. Yeah.
No coincidence here.
All right. Okay. Yes. And you belong to the Methodist Church as well?
Oh yes, I do indeed.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm just trying to say this, by the way, you know, just to appreciate them as a church and their involvement with Trowbridge, because that actually gave birth to this whole thing. And we will probably be encouraging others to do the same. So Methodist Church, Methodist Mission, Ghana, UK, if you're watching this, we are proud of you. I'll be acknowledging a lot of people along the way today, because we want to use this as an opportunity, not just to go out there and to get across to people, but also to acknowledge those who are helping us with our fundraising towards the mission. So yeah, so that's how you gave birth to that. So now I want to ask, there have been a number of missions before now. How many missions you know to date?
This will be our third mission, our third official mission, 2018, 2019, and then obviously with COVID we had a bit of a break.
Yeah.
And this is our third one.
So this one will be the first mission after COVID?
After COVID, yes.
Oh, so I must say your people who you've engaged over there have missed you terribly then. So, yeah, the third mission to Ghana. And Can I bring you in now? Because you have been on a mission before as well, isn't it? How
Yes.
many missions have you been so far?
This will be my second one.
Your second one?
Yes.
Yeah, and how was it like on the first mission?
It was an amazing experience.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always been someone who likes to empower and influence and be involved in charitable work or voluntary work, but not always had the opportunity to be with a team. I tend to go on my own. So this was really a great opportunity to be involved in something that was sort of outside my remit, because I'm not really a medical professional. But I don't know, it was a joy to be part of it, to give back, to the Ghanaian community. That's how I can put it. Yes.
Yeah. Karen, I'll come back to you, because most of us would identify as being Ghanaian. I know you are Ghanaian as well. Yeah, I know you always say you are Ghanaian as well. You see, and one of the main reasons why I got enthused about this and wanted to definitely be part of it was the involvement of the non-Ghanaians, because I was encouraged that if they are doing this, why not me? After all these years and all the experience that we had, what prompted you to join such an initiative in the first place?
I think coming from a more privileged background, I think that I found out how that women were dying unnecessarily and babies were dying unnecessarily, and I knew that we could do so much to improve the healthcare and to help with the training and the staff that were working in these hospitals, because it's not just about money, it's about learning and training and information, and we have such a good structure in the UK that we wanted to share what we do to ensure that everybody had the same chances that we have in this country.
Yeah.
And particularly with training, because it's something that just isn't done the same way in Ghana. We knew that we could give something to them to improve the maternal and child healthcare there.
Yeah, and I'll come to you, Dr. Bright, because so far we've made our introductions and everything, but we haven't actually said what the mission is about, or what the previous missions were about. And I think it's the key for us to set the scene with what all this is about.
I think, as they all said, the whole vision is to try and help our mothers and babies back home to get a very good healthcare and better outcomes, because we thought if you compare what we do here and what is being done at home, I think we could do much more better. The death rate when it comes to childbirth is too high in Ghana. So the whole point was, what are we doing here that is making things better, and can we transfer those skills to our Ghanaian community in Ghana? And it was very simple, and it was very easy, because it doesn't need, of course, all these gadgets that we use here are necessary, but there are certain things that we can do as basics and get the basics right. And with that, chances are we will improve the healthcare. So our vision was, what can we do to help? And the main thing was training. It was training and education, because people do go to Ghana to get involved in all sorts of activities, but how much training are we impacting to them? So our focus is on training and improving the healthcare outcomes of our mums and sisters and
wives and
everybody in Ghana.
Right, so this brings me to a very important question. What were the key areas that we were falling short as a country, really?
Yeah.
That we identified.
Yes.
That needed help.
I think across board.
Right.
All aspects of the health sector.
Right.
But because we were into, or we are into maternity, our aim was to focus on maternal health. And across the whole world, there are certain conditions that stands out as the main reasons why we get poor outcomes, mothers dying. And it is equal, almost equal in every country. We're talking about a woman having a baby and bleeding. It happens everywhere. Infections, it happens everywhere. Miscarriages, what we call hypertensive disorders of pregnancy, so preeclampsia and eclampsia. It happens everywhere. Ectopic pregnancy, as long as women are going to get pregnant, some will end up with ectopic pregnancies. So these are the same. Having blood clots in your legs and lungs, what we call venous thromboembolism, we are humans. Women get pregnant. Pregnancy alone increases the risk. So these are conditions in this country that potentially leads to maternal death. It's the same across board. But what are we doing here that makes outcomes better? And that is not being done in Ghana. It may be done in Ghana, but at a very slow pace. So the whole issue was, hey, I think we have some skills here. These skills are transferable. So let's go and get it done in Ghana as well.
Let's go and get it. And so how has the outcome been? You've been on 2 missions previously.
Yeah.
If I went into anything and I don't see any improvement, especially after 2 years, naturally I'm going to end it. And I'm not going to see the reason to continue. Karen, having been in both missions, you are in a good place to tell us what the outcomes have been so far. So, what have the previous outcomes been, which is prompting us to even embark on this one?
I think we certainly talk about communication training, and that's something which we do a lot of in this country now. And that improves our teamwork, because to work in a team, we have to work in a team, but we train together as well. And that gives us an appreciation of each other's roles, how we work together within that team, so that we can improve the work in emergency situations and in general situations as well. And I think certainly that has been taken on board, and I think people understand the importance of effective communication within the workplace, and that's really important. One of the other things we do is simulation training. So we practice emergency drills, and we do that with our training, but we know that we're not always there. As it happened in COVID, we weren't there for 2 years. The whole point of our training is that we train others in Ghana to be able to train their own staff, so that they can continue that training and sustain it, because we can't be there all the time. We can advise and we can support, and we can give them all the tools to be able to continue that training and see the importance of it. And that's something that we're instilling in the practice there, so that they continue to do that training regularly. The other thing that we talked a lot about is having emergency equipment in the work areas, so that to save time when an emergency happens, they have a box of equipment for that particular emergency, so anybody can pick that equipment up and take it to that emergency scene and use it immediately. And that is something that we have definitely seen in practice when we've gone back to this different hospitals that we've been to. We've seen lovely labelled boxes with the equipment in them. And in fact, in one hospital that we went back
in use.
Yes, in use, definitely
Right.
in use. And we know that because when we went back last time, they'd just had an emergency, and unfortunately that woman had died. However, the equipment had fallen off the wall from the boxes that they had on the walls, and they had it in a bag within that area, so that they knew that they still had to have that equipment to be able to use it if anything else was to happen. And we saw that in quite a few of the hospitals, and we asked to see the equipment, and they're all labelled and in boxes, and that was something that we were quite pleased to see that's been taken on board, definitely.
And you are certain that it wasn't on display because you were visiting?
I don't think so, because the equipment, they explained to us, they said, we're sorry it's not in the box that it was in, it broke, and we had to put everything in a bag, and so they explained where it was and how they used it. So I think as far as we can know, we think they used it.
You think it's being used because you are always in that particular place for a number of days, isn't it? And so you can tell.
Yeah, I think the one thing that became clear to us really though was that people don't know what they don't know, and when you ask staff if they're happy to be able to perform an emergency situation and they have the equipment and the resources, they think they are until that emergency happens. And I think what we're fairly good and well practiced at in the UK is looking at emergencies when they happen and seeing how we can improve afterwards. And that's something that I don't think is done so much in Ghana. And so we have to learn from things that go wrong and things that don't go so well. So if, for example, if you had an emergency and they didn't have the necessary equipment, what we should do is sit down and discuss why that happened and what we can put in place so that if it happens again, we need to be able to improve our care and not let that happen again. And that's something we need to drive home, really, to make sure that people understand that we need to learn every time something happens. We need to improve on what we've done the last time.
So training, you are citing training, communication. Is there any other areas that you think Trowbridge has made an impact so far?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that we do is donate equipment, and we often take lots of equipment. We've taken lots of equipment in the past. We've managed to acquire things that when we update our equipment in England, we can bring older models of equipment, and we've managed to bring particularly scanning machines, resuscitators, cots for babies, and lots of other smaller items of equipment that we can bring over. Some of them new bits of equipment that they can look at and maybe consider whether they can use them in their own practice. But we're not just about donating equipment, because as we said at the beginning, you have to be able to maintain and use that equipment and understand how to use it effectively.
Absolutely,
and just simple things about communicating and working better as a team. We know that in research that's been proved to make better outcomes. And so just communication, no money involved, but just communication and training and practicing our emergency skills every month, every few months, so that we're very good at what we do, so that we don't have to think about what we're doing when it comes to that situation. They're things that don't cost any money. And they're the things that we really want to focus on, because we can improve practice and improve outcomes by doing that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll come back to you, George, because you are in the team always driving the places that Trowbridge goes to, and eventually leading to the outcomes that we expect. So I've never been involved in any mission, nothing of that nature. So really, how does one even prepare on a mission here and back in Ghana? How does it all happen?
Thank you very much. It's very much around team working, and we need to, as an organization, bring together the skills and graces, as they say, into play, into preparing for such a mission. When we planned the very first mission, it's incredible amount of work that went into it. There are logistics in terms of the equipment that Karen is rightly put, that we have taken to read to these hospitals and institutions. There are things around accommodation and even engaging various stakeholders to feel that we are not coming in to impose on them. We need them to buy into whatever vision we have. So once they've bought into it, they become part of our journey, and they are quite key in the planning. So we need a team right down in Ghana to make sure that whatever it takes to get us feeling to some degree comfortable is taken care of. But what we also need is a lot of support from here. Okay? Because we engage and we talk to people and say, we cannot solve all the problems, but once you buy into the vision, you are in it. So it's very important to also look at what we do here in terms of the people we engage with, the partners that we engage with to make sure that all the logistics and all the planning that we need to engage to get things done goes well.
Right, absolutely. Now I'll come back to you because I know you work in close, collaboration with George in planning things from behind. You see, for most of us team members, we are sort of the health professionals doing the practical stuff. But again, for a mission like this to really take off and be successful needs a lot of management. The management side of things I know you do very well with George. So having had one mission previously, what other planning has gone into this very mission this time?
So what I can say is very true that there's the health professional side and that the management is very important. So before you can go ahead and ensure that your project is delivered really well, you have to understand the people that need to be within the team. So apart from the health professionals, it's good to have someone with project management skills, because you need to list out obviously what the initiative is. You have to talk about how tasks are going to be allocated, who's going to do what at what time, what kind of planning is needed for the training itself, like for registering people that will come in. At the end of it, the evaluation and the monitoring, all that is really key. That's what I noticed really drove the success of the program, because you need, and then you also have to inform stakeholders of what you went to do, because otherwise you've just taken their donations and they don't know what it is that you did. So there's a report writing, and then there's the filing of the annual reports to, for example, the Charity Commission, so that they know that as a registered charity, we are doing what we've set out to do. Yes.
Right. And so far, how many hospitals have we engaged in Ghana to date? Because I'm sure there are new hospitals coming on the scene, but previous missions, where have we been as a group so far? Anyone can take that on board, really. I know Ankasi.
is our baby.
Ankasi.
Yes.
Is that the baby, sort of? Yeah. And have we been to any? I say we because I'm here to stay. Yes, absolutely. Where else have we been? Have we been so far to do any form of training?
Do you want me to?
Go.
Yeah. So we went to Wenchi Hospital.
Did you?
We went to Wenchi Methodist Hospital, Ankasi Faith Methodist Hospital, 37 Military Hospital.
All these places are in Ghana, guys. If you are not familiar, just Google it.
Just Google it.
It will come up.
37, the 37th Military Hospital. And for 2022, we've added the University of Ghana Medical Center.
Wow.
Which is a bigger unit. I think they describe it as a quaternary referral center. So it's going to be a lovely challenge, and I think they'll love the work that we are doing. So yes, these are the four main hospitals that we've engaged.
If I should add to it, I mean, I always sit here in admiration for what a brilliant team we have. It's something we started with a vision of go into a hospital, do the training, and then we'll go into another hospital. But the agility of this team is going to sitting back and saying, oh gosh, probably we might not be able to find the right impact we make if we just keep hopping from one to the other. So it was beautiful for us to sit after the first mission and say, we are going to go on a journey. So from just going on a mission, it's now turned to a program. That's why we keep hearing Ankasi a second time and a third time.
Right.
So you would see, we would sit at a place for some time to make sure that we have a complete program before we move on to the next one.
Yeah. And we, for each hospital that we engage with, we set a 5-year program activity with them. Because I think just after 1 year, you might not be able to see the benefits. You asked a question about what the impact we've had. It takes time for them to buy in, to put into practice what we've asked them to do, or we are training with them. So it will take 2, 3, 4 years down the line before you do an evaluation and you see, yes, there is an impact. So each hospital that we go to, it's a 5-year program. Unfortunately, COVID came in and then stole 2 years of our lives. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I keep saying I'm part of it, and people will be wondering, even though those who keep watching this program will probably know exactly what part I'm going to be playing. Guys, so far I've got the Trowbridge Foundation Training for Improved Outcomes. I love that so much, like the fact that something amazing comes out of what we do. Saving lives is what really gets me ticking. So I am really like geared up, waiting for the experience, because I'm sure it will add a word or two to my portfolio. So I am looking forward to it. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, guys, and if you are not on Facebook, you can actually also get through to the Omega Live pages on YouTube, just to listen to the team getting ready to go to Ghana. We are counting our days now, isn't it? We have exactly a week to go, and next week by this time we will be back to Kotoka International Airport. I'm your host, I'm Winnie Ohinekisi. I've done this for a few years now, but this I see as a new challenge altogether, and I've embraced it fully because it impacts on lives of mothers and babies in Ghana. So I'm up for a new challenge. However, there are other teams that have realized the good work that Trowbridge is doing, and it's these collaborations coming up that are beginning to amaze us all. The fact that other people want to even be part of what Trowbridge is doing, I think it's amazing, and that is why you are here, Joyce. So I know you've been sat for a while and ready to go. So I know you are here based on the ticket of like Ghana Nurses Association UK. Yeah, a very big group actually, considering, like all the nurses that are sort of based in the UK, isn't it? So why are you here? Why are you on this mission?
Very interesting. Ghana Nursing Association has long been desired to improve care. And our greetings is that we care and we serve. And I
like that.
Yeah, we care and we serve. So wherever we meet, that is our greeting, and that is embedded in us. And the team has have ambition to serve beyond UK.
Okay.
Despite the fact that we are nurses working over here, we have the ambition to go further to Ghana to help the mission or help train others. And this is where Trowbridge came in. In fact, we have education team. And we had been planning that we will move forward to Ghana and help with the training of nurses and midwives. And so it was around the same time that Trowbridge came, and we had a joint agreement with the Trowbridge. So it is a very interesting commitment for the two charities.
Right.
Now there is a journey for the Ghana Nursing Association. And I think I will leave that for George to mention on that when he comes on to that. Then I'll be able to emphasize the agreement there. Right. But I want to emphasize as a person, as a midwife, specialized also in sickle cell and thalassemia. I had wanted long time to embark on a journey to Ghana, because sickle cell and thalassemia are conditions that affect most Africans. And it's a condition that is less paid attention to. And I have seen that since I've started doing this job in terms of being a specialist midwife, I've seen that there's less attention paid to hemoglobinopathies or sickle cell thalassemia in maternity. And it's been my passion to take it on. And I have actually spoken to one specialist consultant. When are we going to Ghana to start improved care in Ghana? So Trowbridge, for me to be part of it now, either through the Ghana Nursing Association or through whichever means, I think it's a fulfillment of a vision and a commitment to go back and do something for Ghana.
You see, I like the passionate nature. you are delivering it. Yeah, so Ghana Nurses Association, if you're watching, Yeah, she is starting off on a very great note. Yeah, and with so much passion. There is no way we can do what we do if we are not passionate about what we do. And so you are really, really welcome. I'm talking as if I'm, recruitment officer.
I can't wait for this
journey. You can't wait. Exciting.
It was so strange that there's so much I can't tell you about.
Yeah.
For the commitment to leave things behind and say, I am going in on this journey.
Yeah.
It was a surprise to my husband. It was a surprise to other people around me. And I understand that even my colleague at GNA, they may be surprised that I'm going.
Yeah.
But I'm going and I'm representing, and I think we got to do something.
Yes. So you actually drew George in. What has been his involvement? And George, what is going on? Because I know definitely you are not a member of the GNA. So can you tell us? No.
I am not a health professional, but I think we all understand that we need to give something back. If you are a Ghanaian, if you are a friend of Ghana, you are part of Resuscitation. That's where I start. If you look at the journey with GNA, it was interesting. I just so happened to have to talk to them at some stage, and we spoke to them about the opportunity to go and do something back in Ghana. This tells us how people see our approach to giving back. On one of our missions, I think it was the very first mission, it went down so well that we were invited to look at a nursing training college which had just been acquired, and they thought the type of training and the vision we were trying to bring across could be passed on to such a training institution. So it was quite a big challenge for us, because ours is about delivering service in a certain way, delivering in the hospital. So, on second thought, as trustees, we thought that we could look into partnership, because we cannot do everything all by ourselves. So as we began to reposition ourselves as a change and transformation agency, we thought, okay, we could lead on this, but we could bring on others and we will facilitate the process. So GNA were very kind to come into the discussion, and we are very proud of how they've held on to discussion over a period to hold on to what we're going to do. So on this mission, it is about going to Ankase, it's about going to UGMC. But the whole bit about our engagement or the partnership to work at Afosu training.
Is it the nurses training?
This nursing training college is a big thing that's coming out. So GNA, watch out. Yeah? We're going to have a very big engagement, and of course we have started. We came into some IT equipment, and that was on one of our visits during the COVID period. We sneaked in 2001. Yeah. And we were able to gift to the nursing
2021, is it?
2021, over 40 computers and projectors and equipment, just to start the strategy we had. We had engaged with them, they had told us what they were looking for, so we thought we could build the basis for what I call the e-learning approach, because we cannot always be there. So we sort of set the platform for GNA to be able to then go in and do some coaching, some mentoring, and helping the faculties grow. So GNA are going to be involved in the bulk of the work, because this is their baby.
Who
best can teach nurses
than nurses?
Yeah.
So in this journey, we have had a meeting with the principal. There has been a plan put in place, and they are waiting for us. She came on the meeting with her team, and we're not taking their education from them. We are not going to say we know better. And I think for GNA stand, we know that when you start teaching from the foundation, these nurses and midwives are going to come out with their development or the training that they have acquired. So that's why we are setting ourselves in, giving mentoring, coaching, and whatever support we have to offer them. As I'm talking now, there has been some books that's already been shipped to them. There are mannequins for training. So now we are trying to set up a lab center for them for their training and development. So it's a big project. And even if we are able to train just 1 or 2 or 10 of nurses and midwives, and they come out with better understanding of where they are, care would improve. So this is where we are, and we will continue.
You continue, yeah. That sounds amazing. And I've had the chance to work with the Western Region Association of nurses who trained at Efian Kwanto Hospital. And I think we started a similar thing, but we are a smaller group, so couldn't manage to get it as far as this. But we have done quite a lot of stuff for the school, and it's all, again, in line with training. But baby steps, absolutely important. So now let's get back and think about what we are actually going to do on the ground. And I know there are some very interesting topics that we're going to be doing. Those of you who follow Let's Talk About Health, I had a session with Maisie, and that was basically on basic life support in the community, what to do in case of choking, in case of a cardiac arrest. So I am probably going to skip my side of things tonight in terms of what I'm going to be doing, because I am going to be part of the team with Maisie, and we are doing resuscitation, adult resuscitation, but you will be sort of throwing light on neonatal resuscitation as well, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We it's what we do every year in the UK. We have to train every single year in our basic neonatal life support, and we have to do it practically. We have to be assessed to make sure that we have still got those skills. It's something that doesn't happen. Regular training does not seem to happen in Ghana, and it's something we want to ensure that people do. It's very easy to get rusty and to forget the skills. And even on a yearly basis, you sometimes forget things get outdated, things change. And so definitely with taking Maisie, we've got a massive, very skilled person who's going to be able to help us to instruct people on neonatal life support. It's really, really important because mothers need to know how to look after their babies. If a baby chokes or stops breathing in the community or in the hospital, we need to be able to look after our own children as well. And many people don't know how to do those kind of things. And so it's not just important for our staff to learn it, it's also important for mothers to learn these things as well. And so if we give the staff more skills, they'll be able to teach the parents as well. And I think that's really important. But we're also going to be talking about the equipment that they need to use for that. We've seen that the equipment in some of the areas is not adequate really for neonatal resuscitation, and we're very lucky to be taking Jean, who's one of our team, and he's a neonatal consultant, and I know that he's going to be very interested in looking at the equipment that we have and advising the equipment that they should have in that area. So we're going to be able to hopefully advise on equipment packs that they can use for neonatal resuscitation as well, which I think will be absolutely invaluable because we haven't really seen too much of that in the areas, and I think it's something that we really need to expand on.
Yeah, brilliant.
And also part of the excitement will be training. See, the emphasis is on teamwork, communication, right? So when it comes to some of the topics that we'll be covering will be major obstetric hemorrhage. It looks like in Ghana, probably that's one of the number one killers.
Yeah.
A woman going to have a baby, they bleed, and pass away, unfortunately. So major obstetric hemorrhage, or sometimes we call it postpartum hemorrhage, is something that we're going to drill and skill on. We're also going to do things on how to manage eclampsia, eclamptic fit, teamwork, maternal sepsis, how you work as a team to manage a woman who is septic. So, and a maternal collapse, a woman collapses on the ward, what do we do? And that's where you come in,
That's
and
where I
Maisie
come in.
comes in.
Yeah.
So adult resuscitation, that is very important. Cord prolapse, shoulder dystocia. So a baby is being delivered, the shoulder gets stuck. I have seen countless number of cases from Ghana where that is not managed properly and the babies get damaged. And they get damaged for life. So how to manage shoulder dystocia, again, in a teamwork setting to get improved outcomes for these babies. These are the skills and drills that we're going to embark on.
Brilliant. Now, for me personally, and in my role as one of the resuscitation team, I'm going to attempt to answer some of the questions that you put on with me and Maisie just about a month ago, because some of you wanted to know how we arrive at resuscitation or making that decision to resuscitate a patient in hospital. There are a few viewers who wanted to know, how do you determine who gets resuscitated? I'm not going into any practical aspect, but if the producer can put it on, that there's a form which I said, which says a respect form, and that basically outlines the treatment plan. So guys, if you are even here in the UK, there are some of these informations that you need to know. There is a form or a decision that is made if you happen to be an inpatient in hospital, and right at the beginning of the admission, the team has to have a plan in place as to what you are or how you are going to be managed. And I think that is across the board, isn't it? And it's got a beautiful name. That's what I like. The respect, the respect form. And basically, the head of the treatment team, led by the consultants, and those under the consultant, make the decision in conjunction with the patient and their family. And if we can get that form on the screen, it's not coming right. But then basically all that happens, it will come. We will show you before we go. All that happens is a decision is made upon discussion with the patient, and they are able to say what should happen in the case of an emergency. So for instance, if I come into hospital and I am quite old and I have so many other ailments, and it's very unlikely I will survive cardiac arrest or chest compressions, then I can decide with my doctors that in case I collapse or I lose cardiac output, no one should jump on my chest to do chest compressions. Yes, and that is how they come about with the decision. Dr. Bright, I will let you probably add more about it. So what the respect form details is, it states all your comorbidities, and then it states the ceiling of care that you are meant to have. So if I have so many problems and I'm not going to survive it, and I'm consulted, I just say, I would like all possible treatments to be administered, but in case I lose cardiac output, don't jump on my chest to perform chest compressions. So on my respect form, they will have something like, okay, for active treatment, but do not attempt cardiopulmonary resuscitation. But I am for intensive care management, I am for NIV as in non-invasive, all the possible management that I need, I can have. But if all these fail, then I don't want you to jump on my chest. And I think that is how we come about. So we don't just decide on just looking at people and saying, actually, Karen, you are going to have cardiac chest compressions or CPR. Yeah, so these are very, very key information. That is how the treatment team arrived. Dr. Bright, do you want to add something to this?
Yeah, I think the bits that you've described is one aspect of it.
One aspect of it.
The other aspect is, remember that women who get pregnant are young. You know, we're talking about from 18, 19 years of age up to about 40. Yes, a woman at 40, she's young. We expect
even 50.
Yes. We expect anyone who comes to hospital to have a baby or to have any form of care to go back home safe and intact. So cardiac arrest or the need for adult resuscitation can happen anytime. The individual may not have had the opportunity to write all these things down as you have suggested. That is one aspect. But when they come to us as young, healthy individuals, they are coming to us, we expect them to go home with their babies intact. So a decision to resuscitate them depends on us. So if a woman collapses now, we will not start looking for their relatives and say, hey, can we resuscitate? We don't. Okay, so straight away, there are certain things that you look out for to help you make a decision what you actually do. So if somebody collapses and there's no pulse, then you know what to do. If there is pulse, then there may be a different reason why this person has collapsed. So there are things that you look out for before you do the resuscitation. So these are two aspects of it. I would say.
And it looks like on the general side, it's a bit different. And then on the maternity side, because everyone potentially should be, end of story, isn't it? They are well enough.
We deal with strong.
But on the general side, because most of them who were watching were just asking general questions, how we arrive at the decision.
But you see, I always say that what Trio Bridge is teaching. These are transferable skills. It can be done in any department, in any setting. It is something that can be taken across board. It doesn't matter whether you're obstetric or general surgery. It can be done anywhere and everywhere.
Right. Okay. So I think we are quite clear on what the whole mission, especially the practical side of things. This is just like an abridged version of what we are going to be doing, because it's really very detailed. Like when you take sepsis, it is very detailed. It saves lives. So we'll be going into the details then. But let's look at the risk management side of things, accountability, and everything else that goes into a mission being successful.
I think one of the things that can be done better in Ghana is looking into why things go wrong. Okay, so as Karen said, a woman has come to our care. Nobody goes out there to work to cause harm. But mistakes do happen, and that is acceptable. We are humans. We will make mistakes. But when mistakes happen, it is only proper that you look into why those things happened and try and mitigate, do certain things differently next time. Unfortunately, that does not seem to be the case in most of the hospitals that we've been to in Ghana. In this country, risk management is absolutely paramount, in every department, more so in obstetrics. So one of the things that we are trying to, and gradually we will add to what we're doing, is to educate them on risk management. So, why has somebody died? Why did this woman bleed so much? Why did this woman collapse? All this is, every poor outcome or unexpected outcome needs to be looked into. Unfortunately, it's not done in Ghana. Okay, so in terms of accountability, it's literally not that present. And it is a long journey, but as I said, baby steps. We should be able to work on empowering patients in Ghana to ask questions, to probe, to inquire. You asked me, you told me that you were going to do A, B, C. You told me that this will be the outcome, but it hasn't. Why? So that empowering women, patients, to be able to ask questions and seek answers is one of the things that we are gradually adding to what we do, because without that, you cannot assess, you cannot improve. When things go wrong, you need to look into it, examine why things went on, and it needs a whole team of people to be doing that, because without that there will be no improvement. Yes.
Right, so that's one area we've had identified, isn't it? Yeah. So that brings me to, obviously we've been here like a year, an hour already, a year, an hour, and so trying to draw close to the program. But then I want to know, what is everybody doing on this mission? Yeah. What is everybody doing on this mission? Because I'm going to check to see if we have any questions from our viewers and all that, because that is usually very exciting to me, what they want to know from us.
As a team, we will all be involved in fact, there are two areas. The training aspect of the work that we are doing. So the clinicians amongst us will be doing the clinical work. And the non-clinicians amongst us will be putting us in the right places at the right time. So when it comes to the training, because you are so much involved, you don't look at time. So we need somebody to be coordinating things. So the clinicians amongst us, the non-clinicians will be sort of, hey, move on, do this, do that. So they will be coordinating us, and that's one of the jobs that NAI is going to do. On the other side of things will be, I think people, the general populace have heard about us. So there will be the opportunity to talk to them. So there will be media work as well, because we need to put it out there that we are here for a good purpose. And George and Na and some of us will be engaged in the media work as we go along. So each and every one of us has a role to play.
Has a role to play. Yeah, is that to summarize for all of us? Yeah. George, I want to hear from you. What are you going to be doing with us when we are there?
Is the chief
I don't know. I think he's called me all sort of things. But what I'll borrow is one he used in 2018 that I will be using the stapler to put everything together.
Yeah. Oh, is that it?
I will be involved in most things, but I think we all have specific roles to play.
Yeah.
I would think that my role will be just to engage others who would want to know more about the foundation, and I think it's about time that we keep drumming in the message that if you know about it, you are part of it. But if you are part of it, we need to draw you closer.
Yeah.
So I will be trying to draw people closer into it, because we can't do it all by ourselves.
No,
but we need
can't.
the cooperation and partnership to get this working.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, yeah, what's your role?
Well, as Dr. Bright said, there needs to be a lot of coordination. So that will be me. I'll be heavily involved in coordinating. So I'll give you an example. For when we wake up in the morning, I'll be what we call in Agile Project Management, the Scrum Master. I'll just outline what we're going to do for the day, so that everyone knows their allocated tasks. So, and then when we're out there, there's not an issue like who's doing what, who's that. Everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing right from the time before we leave our apartment or wherever we would be in the morning. When we go out there, I'll be coordinating to see, because we never know what could happen. Maybe there might not be capacity for one person to cover a certain area quickly. What's the strategy? Can you do this? Can you add that to your role? Can you do? So that's the kind of thing I'll be looking at. Definitely be timing when the simulations as well, because we need to. It needs to be a smooth session. Each training session needs to be smooth.
Yeah.
Debriefing is also very important. So at the end of the day, we do that to find what we could have done better, what went well, how we can improve, things like that. That would be my role.
Oh, brilliant. Karen?
Training.
Coconut.
Lots of training. But just engaging with our colleagues in Ghana as well, and learning from them, because
Good.
we're not just coming to tell people what to do. We're sharing, and we're sharing and looking and learning from what is done in Ghana and how we can advise, but we're not about telling people how to do things, because we're not necessarily right on all the things that we do. We have to share things and look at different ways of working and advising, and I think, and befriending, because we've made so many contacts through going, and as I say, I am part Ghanaian now. The inside bit, not the outside bit. But we've linked up with so many people, and we've got so many friends as well that are engaged and just wanting to help and work together, really.
Yeah.
And within the limited resources that they have, I think they do a really good job.
Yeah.
They do a really good job. But things can be better.
Right. Things can be better. Joyce?
Yes, things can be better.
Yeah.
And that's what we are all going to support.
You're going to support. And you are not training this time, isn't it?
I'll be training.
You'll be training.
Oh, yes.
That way I'll be training. I'm there on the floor.
Oh, you are. Guys, let's see. We have a few people who have joined in like they always do, and thanks for the support. Before I come back to each of you to ask if there's any group backing you, I know GNA is strongly behind you. If there's any shout out you want to give to people, because we've been raising funds, isn't it? And there are significant groups and other people supporting each and every one of us. So maybe you would want to acknowledge these people. Maisie, I know you've raised a lot of money through your friends and family, and I would say just remind them we have a week to go, so if they have any pennies left, they still can chip that in. But a few people are here, and as usual, my big sis AC Hammond is watching. She's always on the show, and as she's saying, Ikuya Danswa is watching as well. Good to see the fun part of it. I'm sure it will be fun. Alberta Kukwabru, you are watching from the US. Good job, Trowbridge Foundation. And she also says Trowbridge all the way. Absolutely. Abna Apia Sapon, teamwork. And it's going to be big teamwork. That's big on our agenda, isn't it? And Great Minds at Work Ghana is waiting to welcome you from ACM again. Nana Ani Hinakwa, you are also saying that great work. Roland Graham, you are watching. These are all Morgans, and when it comes to Morgans, without me knowing, apparently I've been mentoring some of these girls that they are training through university from a distance, and I didn't know about it. Sometimes it amazes you when you eventually find out how many people you've encouraged to do brilliant stuff. So Morga is in Fansman Old Girls Association. And apparently I've been mentoring some girls without knowing, because they watch this program and they are keen on what we are going to be doing in Ghana, and they actually want to be like observers, see how it all works, and be encouraged to take on new roles. So there are different collaborations just springing up all over, and I take this opportunity to say a big thank you to Western Region Association of Nurses UK, and lots of the members giving toward to the project, so thank you very much. And then also to the Precious Jewels UK, I'm a member, and the support has been fantastic. So again, I say a very big thank you to you. But guys, I want you to say, because people really, really like to know these and to feel appreciated. Is there any groups or any individuals you want to acknowledge because they are supporting?
Oh yes, Luton and Dunstable Hospital. They've been so helpful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Since 2018. They've been excellent.
And which hospital again?
So Luton and Dunstable Hospital, which is where myself and Bright work. They have supported us and shown interest, and some of our colleagues and friends have donated money and support to us, and equipment that we are able to procure as well. And I think just the general support of all our friends, because in Ghana and in England we've had so much support from, not just in money, but support in allowing us to be here and go to Ghana and do all the training that we do. And there's so much work behind the scenes that goes into us going. It's amazing, and people don't really see that, but there's a massive amount of work, and we spend months and months organising and just organising our team and bringing our team together, because we take a different team. We don't always take the same team with us, and so just bringing them into the group and enabling them to come with us, and it's a big opportunity for people to be able to do something very good as well, and that's something I'm certainly very pleased to be able to do, really, to be able to come along and do what I can do to help as well. That's most of why I do it.
Yeah, George?
And a big, a big thank you to those who are going to host us, you know, in terms of, you know, you know, people have come out to support us with, you know, like dinner occasions, sessions. So,
watch out, you know, the videos are coming.
You know, there's so many people who've come to, you know, help us. Yes.
Amazing. Ghana
So
has really embraced this, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know, I've been sharing some of the publications from Ghana, Graphic. Daily Graphic, I think, has announced a visit to the UGMC. Is there anyone you want to acknowledge, George?
Well, there's a long list. I hope I don't leave anyone out. But I want to start by congratulating every member of the team. One thing that probably we don't say loud enough is that each member of the team is buying their own ticket, or they have bought their own ticket. So it's a big step, not just for the members, their family as well, for the sacrifice. Then we will talk about the cooperation from the Ghana High Commission, who have been very supportive to make this travel documentation and stuff like that quite fair enough for us. Kiwi Limited, you know, a training company who have donated a lot of IT equipment and office furniture for us to ship across. The Methodist Church in Ghana have continuously been open to receiving us and hosting us, providing transport. We have just received a few checks here and there from Alpha Beta Cleaning Company. We have also had massive support for GNA. They have constantly been supporting both as individuals and as an organization. An organization we haven't mentioned, but we have got some rich partnership with, is the Ghana Methodist Fellowship Women. The other way, Ghana Methodist Church Women Fellowship. We have some partnership with them, and I'm sure probably when we are back, we will come back and talk about it. Some exciting development that's coming up. In terms of individuals, I would just be careful I don't leave anyone out, but so many people have embraced the idea, but that is not enough. We need more of you. We still haven't finished buying our stuff, so please keep donating.
So Joyce, I know GNA. Is there any other groups that you want to mention, acknowledge?
Oh, my own church members.
And they are?
New Life Evangelistic Ministries International.
Right. Okay.
They are very supportive in that.
Brilliant.
I mean, donations.
Good.
As little, it goes far.
It does go far. It's every little helps, isn't it? Now?
Yeah.
Anyone you want to?
Yes, I would like to acknowledge the donations and the support from friends and family of Dominion Center, Wood Green. I sold Trowbridge to them, and they're just, you know, really pleased that I'm part of such a great team. I'd like to acknowledge as well a little singing group I'm part of. They're called Choralis. They've been so awesome in supporting. I know some of them have been anonymous, you know, but I really want to acknowledge what they're doing for this group. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think unless anyone has anything else to say, there is so much to look forward to. But I have to send special thanks to our producer, Omega Live Multimedia, Omega House, Omega TV. All this is happening because you just saw the potential even in what I could do. That's how it all started. And then years down the line, this is happening, and you are giving us the platform to do all these programs. Even at the last minute, you always find a way. I also want to say thank you to RAN, Western Region Association of Nurses UK. For those of you who are always watching the show, and Irene Bolham, Irene Alumino, well done GNA, I think she's a member as well. Rodalyn Graham says, thank you for engaging with Moga UK sponsor a girl child project. Executives, members and young wards who will be meeting up with you, appreciate you so much. Stay blessed. Thank you, Rodalyn. And then Big Sis Asiamon says, if you need help with your media engagements, feature articles, interviews, because obviously she's a media person, don't hesitate to let me know. And everything that I wear on this show, when I'm not in a Trowbridge t-shirt, she sponsors. You know, my big sister, she sponsors me over the years. Yeah, I have so many of them, so many outfits, and I'm really grateful. Angela Nana Otu, you are always supporting me. Vic Brown, many of you from the Western Region Association of Nurses. Araba Hayford, you are in Ghana. I'm coming home soon. Nana Ani Ahinakwa. You are all fantastic people. Guys, I'll say for those of you who are in Ghana who also want to contribute, definitely there is always a way to give. Nothing that we give will be too small to save a life. And for me, and for doing all these shows, it's all about promoting well-being and about saving lives. So tonight, guys, we had the Trowbridge Foundation UK, but we are on a mission to Ghana, and I hope we've thrown or shed more light on what the mission is about. But guys, watch out, because once we leave the shores of the UK to Ghana, the videos will start rolling in, so you have glimpses of what we are going to be embarking on. But all I can say is there has been nothing as fulfilling that I've ever done than going on a mission to Trowbridge. So on that note, I'll say thank you so much. I don't have any show again till we come back, but guys, stay safe until we come your way again with another edition of Let's Talk About Health. I say a big thank you to my family, to my husband for giving me the exit to travel and for his unfailing support, to my children, and to all my friends and loved ones. You guys are simply amazing. To Omega TV and all of the presenters here, you are awesome. To Precious Jewels, Ran, all of you are amazing, and I don't take this for granted. So keep giving, keep sharing, stay safe, and we shall meet again. Thank you. Bye-bye.